The purpose of prenatal care in the medical model is to observe a woman for complications in her pregnancy. So the visits come and blood pressures get taken and bellies get measured and ultrasounds get done, blood work drawn. But most of the purpose of that is to prove that this healthy process is remaining healthy at all times. And overall, that's the only purpose of prenatal care in most obstetrical offices in the country or in the world even. Midwifery looks at the period of time of pregnancy as being a great opportunity to educate women and prepare women for not only childbirth, but for motherhood.
Once you start to feel a little bit better, we do want you to get at least 60 grams of protein a day. So a lot of meats and cheeses and nuts and nut butters and dairy products can get you some of that protein. So when you're feeling a little bit better, it really makes for a healthy baby in labor, a healthy placenta in labor, a healthy umbilical cord for labor. So it sets you up for really a successful, unmedicated, low intervention birth.
Roxy, Cindy, and I had worked in a physician's office for years together, and although our little midwife area was a little bit prettier, decorated a little bit more, it still had exam tables and medical things around, and felt like a doctor's office, smelled like a doctor's office. It was really our hope when we set up our own office to make a place that felt like home. When you're trying to convey the message to somebody that they're not sick, and there's nothing wrong with you, you're just having a baby, why do we need all these medical things then? You know, why does it feel uncomfortable like doctor's offices generally do? There's not a thing wrong with these women, you know, they're just pregnant. So we have exam tables. They exist here, but we rarely use them for a pregnant woman. You know, there's beyond a blood pressure cuff and a Doppler and a measuring tape, there's very little needed to care for women. So we work a lot and we're here a lot. So it's comfortable for me, it's comfortable for all of us to be in a place that feels more like a home.
My name is Regina Hegman, and I am a full-time mother of 3 children. My youngest 2 were born with the midwives at planned home births. I am a part-time elementary art teacher, and I also paint murals on the side and other artistic works. In 2014, I had my 3rd child, and I was in labor with him at home, and Lisa and Cindy were at my home birth again. And Lisa actually approached me while I was in labor, and she asked me if I'd be interested in painting a mural because she was checking out my other kids' bedrooms, and she saw that I had painted murals in my daughter's room and my oldest son's room. So in between contractions, she's asking me, would you be interested in painting a mural in our new office? And I'm thinking, yeah, that's great, but I'm kind of busy right now. But it worked out well because I think it took my mind off of the contractions and whatnot. And about a year later, I finally had time again after my son got a little bit older. Lisa asked me to incorporate different things that really embody the midwives as a whole. She asked me to create something very spiritual, something with the tree of life, something with water, and something with a Bible verse. So I sketched up a couple different ideas, and then ultimately we decided on this final sketch, which is what I painted on the wall. I chose the colors on the wall, the softer colors, primarily because the wall is so big. I didn't want to use any really loud, bold colors, and I think that would have taken away from the soothing atmosphere that the office has to offer. The mural took me about a week to paint. I did it during my spring break, and it was just overall a really enjoyable experience. The things that I've learned during my visits with them haven't just been put into effect during my pregnancy, or the information that they've given me has really helped me in my everyday daily routine. Vitamins to take, like the flu preventative in the winter and whatnot, the elderberry, I would have never known that unless I had come here. They just really stuck with me, and Overall, I'm just so appreciative of their care, and just as a group, they're just phenomenal.
So maybe your butter. Whoa, I felt a little kick there. I'm Chrissy Whiting, and I'm a certified nurse midwife. I attended the University of Utah College of Nursing, and in there's a midwifery program. Today, my family and I are going to visit the beach here in New Jersey. There is a beach in Utah. The Great Salt Lake has a beach, but it is a very large salty lake, and the water is significantly more salty than ocean water. I think I've only seen 1 or 2 other people at this Great Salt Lake beach when I've ever gone. Maybe a few more, but not too many. So I suspect there might be a few more people at this beach today. So while I was in school, they had us attend the American College of Nurse Midwives annual meeting. And at that meeting, there are section meetings for particular areas of interest, and one of those areas is home birth. And I thought I better go and meet some midwives that are doing this, what I want to do. And so I went, and Lisa and Roxy happened to be there at that meeting, and they introduced themselves and their practice and what they were trying to do and how eager they were to welcome midwives who wanted to practice in the home birth setting. And so I just thought I better talk to these guys before I lose this opportunity walking out of the room. I was pretty nervous, but I thought, well, they said they want people to come. So I walked up to Lisa, and she was very nice and gave me her email address, and we corresponded, and she invited me to come for a visit to the practice after I'd finished school in the spring, and I did so. And I just really fell in love with everything that the midwives are doing. And then when I went back home to Utah, very far away, and considered would I want to move my entire family across the country, when we decided, you know, this is the place where the midwives will be a mentor to me. The care that we'll give to the women that we serve will be true to the midwifery model. When I thought about moving so far and the angst that comes with making a big transition, that safety and love and comfort I felt coming here just sort of covered up all those concerns and made the transition fairly easy.
My name is Christina Malpierre, and I am a mom. The way that they care for their patients, it's obvious that they care so much about what they do and making it a good experience for you. My appointments were always wonderful, very long and detailed, and we didn't just talk about the pregnancy, we talked about all sorts of things going on in my life and my family's lives.
Our care is much different prenatally because it looks at the whole woman. So she's not just a person who is having a baby and within the context of my office in the hospital, but she's actually a person who has a life outside of our office in the hospital.
What's most important is really nutrition, exercise, you know, your spiritual and emotional well-being. And those things are often neglected in care at other places because it takes a lot of time to really find out how well someone's been eating, if they're actually exercising, you know, what types of exercise they're doing, how are they emotionally, do they have a support system? All those sorts of things take time to investigate, and often people aren't willing to share that information if they don't feel comfortable with you. You know, we provide all the same basic care that you would receive elsewhere. We do check your blood pressure. We do a standard urine test when you come in for a visit. All the typical tests that you would be offered, we offer all of those. But in addition, we provide, you know, that other support that you might not find somewhere else.
I woke up on Saturday morning and I could tell I was in labor. I'd been having contractions for a while and it was obvious that this was the real deal. So I texted the office and they said, okay, we'll be in touch with you. Just keep us posted on what's happening. And we had to drop our daughters off at my mother-in-law's and we got there. I labored there for 4 hours or so. And it was just, you know, listening to music, trying to rest as much as I could. And that's when Caitlin and I made a plan for me to go to the hospital at 5 o'clock. I'll never forget walking in and she was there. And it was such a relief to see her and know, like, okay, we're gonna do this. This is happening. And we got to the room and, you know, they did the 20-minute strip and then I got on the ball and I was bouncing a little bit on the exercise ball and I put my earphones in and my husband ran to Starbucks and got me a banana. It was so nice to be able to move around. You have to, when you're having an unmedicated, you have to be able to follow those instincts. And then I got in the tub at 9 centimeters and it was so intense. You know, you get to a point where you think you're not going to be able to do it, and that's when the midwives really come in handy because they're reminding you that, yeah, you can do it, you're going to, and you've done it before. And
we also are trying to develop a relationship with our clients so that when we say at the end of their labor, you can do this, I know you want to do this, you know, this has been our plan all along. I'm somebody that the woman trusts, that have her best interests at heart when I encourage them through their labor and birth.
When we attend them at their birth, they're not really inviting a stranger to this most sacred and intimate moment in their lives. They're inviting a friend that they've made.
I started pushing, and that took a while. It's because it's hard no matter how many times you've done it. And then he was born, and it was so cool.
Okay, push. I want you to push. Good job. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
Watch your cord. You did it, babe.
Sweet boy.
Yeah. Oh, David. Oh.
I'm sorry, that was so hard.
Yeah. You scream it, buddy.
They were right there. They were right there the whole time. And they're the best. They are the best. I tell everybody that I can that the care that I've gotten here is just beyond anything, any other healthcare I've ever had in my life. They really empower you to do it. And then you do, and you're like, yes, nobody can take that away from me, ever. So I always say, they make me want to have all the babies. All the babies.